Hi, Paul Sackett, Good News Planet and Peace Day Party. I'm speaking with Bill McCarthy. Hey, Bill, how you been?
I have been great. Things have just been happening.
As they always are with my good friend Bill. Bill, you do such important work. You have a wonderful channel on web broadcasting and over the air, and you're celebrating and put together, along with some other people, All You Need Is Love Day. Salute 50th anniversary of the Beatles Anthem. You're up in San Francisco right now because I believe that's where the event is going to happen, and then you're going to broadcast it on the peacechannel.com, your organization's unityfoundation.org. Bill, tell us what's going on.
Well, it's very interesting. I mean, we had wanted to do something for this occasion, and it just turned out that other people were also interested in doing something. One of the groups that we work with, which you're well aware of, is Playing with Change. And so we had talked to them about doing one of their amazing videos where they have performers from all over the world singing on one song, performing one song. And so we were working on that happening, and then it turned out that their touring band was going to be in San Francisco that actual night, which was amazing. And this band is made up of some of the finest musicians from 13 countries representing 5 continents. So it's truly international. And they're going to be playing songs from the 60s, and then at 8:45 Pacific time, which would be 11:45 Eastern time, they're going to have a sing-along of All You Need Is Love. And the idea on that is to have a song heard round the world. So we're outreaching to everyone we can to get involved, to be part of this, because love is needed now more than ever. And we can send that vibration of love around the whole planet together when we sing this song.
Well, Bill, you've been involved with this kind of a peace movement, love movement for, I would say, 1 billion years, but I know you're a young guy. But how come you've been involved with this? I mean, I know you mentioned to me a long time ago you did concerts up in San Francisco, and I know your Peace Day is one of your biggest projects each year. You gather everybody doing something good and broadcast it for them. Where did it come from you, inside of you?
Well, you know, the beginnings are very interesting, and that is that I had been, in the late 60s, I'd been living in San Francisco, and I had been a big fan of Jefferson Airplane. I went to all their concerts, put some interesting things into my body while I was at those concerts, and I actually was really enthralled by them because they could create the most beautiful love songs and yet at the same time be the vanguard of the revolution with their revolutionary songs. So I had this feeling that I was going to do something with them. I didn't know what. I was just a teenager in the crowd like everybody else, but I really had this strong connection to them, I felt. So go back then to 1975. I was at a concert, a big benefit that Bill Graham was putting on in San Francisco, and the Jefferson Airplane had just morphed into Jefferson Starship, and they had this song that I really loved called Ride the Tiger. And so they started their set with that song. And peace be told, I had ingested some psychedelic that day, so I had heightened awareness. And when they sang the song, there was a lyric in the middle that said, "In the summer of '75, the whole world will again come alive." Mm-hmm. So I heard that, and I heard the intensity of that, and I felt like that message for some reason was coming right at me. So I turned around to my production partner, and we were just putting on little shows at that point. And I said, "Richard, did you hear what they said?" And he said, "Yes, so what?" I said, "Well, someone's going to make that happen." And he looked at me with dread in his eyes, and I said, "Me and you, Richard, we're going to make that happen." And the next day, we had 4 of our friends, call up every spiritual, political, environmental, cultural organization in the Bay Area and said that we feel that it's time for you all to come together and be unified. Well, you can imagine what the responses were. Some were like, who are you? What have you ever done before? And the other was like, the spiritual ones. You wanted me to be in the same room with the political ones, and then everyone thought the environmentalists were kooks, and so we had to devise a way to do that. And I won't go into how that happened, but it successfully happened. And I kept envisioning that because of their inspiration, that the Starship had to play at this thing. So we knew some people that knew them, and actually we were partnering with them on putting on the event because they had done concerts in the park before. And they called them and they said yes. So of course I'm in seventh heaven. And so we're planning this whole thing to happen. And then 2 weeks before, Miracles hits #1 on the charts. It's the biggest day of their life. The airplane never had a #1 hit. So this was the biggest thing that ever happened to them. So they called us back and said they couldn't do it. Around that time, there was this other guy that was going to design the stage for us, who actually knew the Starship, and he called not knowing the situation, and he said, Bill, so how's everything with the Starship? And I said, well, not so good. They backed out. And he said the thing that changed my life and set me on this course. And he said, I don't care what they said. What do you see? And I started crying because I could see them on that stage as clearly as anything in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave me a telephone number. He says, I want you to call this number, and I want you to talk to this person, and you better pour your heart out because this is your one chance. It turned out that it was their publicist. Now, I didn't even know what a publicist was at that time, but she was the one who answered the phone, thank God. And she also was going out with, or I'm not sure if she was married yet, but she was going out with Paul Canton. And I just poured out, listen, all these groups are coming together that would never be in the same room. Do you know what you guys have created here? And so she said, well, let me talk to them. I didn't think any more of it. And we were going to a meeting that day to scale everything down. And at the meeting, this guy, Ron Lambert, who was with the People's Ballroom, who were producing this with us, he gets a call. And he goes in the other room. And about 3 minutes later, he comes back. And he looks like he's going to pass out. He looks at me and he says, McCarthy, I don't know what the F you told them, but they're coming in to bring the Grateful Dead with them. And they did. And that was our first event, 50,000 people.
Magnificent. Bill, from there to this, give us the exact details one more time so the audience will know where to go and how to tune in.
Sure. And then I want to also mention the other thing that's happening that day, which is connected to it. But anyway, you tune in to www.peacechannel.com and tune in at least by 8:45, be 8:45 on West Coast, 11:15 East Coast. And the concert starts at 8, so you can tune in at 8 o'clock and see the whole concert if you want. And they'll be doing a lot of songs from the 60s.
And where will they be physically? Will they be able to, if you're in the San Francisco area, where?
They're in a club called The Independent, which is in the Lower Haight-Ashbury at 628 Divisadero Street.
Okay. Bill, two last quick questions. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you what's happening earlier in the day because it's also significant.
Okay.
So we're putting all this together, and then we're working with these people that have this magic bus because these tours of the Haight-Ashbury and stuff. They wanted to do something, too, and the head of the massive Gay Pride Parade Committee called them and said, we want that bus as one of the lead contingents with the All You Need Is Love theme. Mm-hmm. So now we're calling up all our friends to get them all dressed up in, their best hippie costumes, and we're going to sing, and we're going to sing and dance, and we're going to lead that crowd all the way from the beginning of the parade route to the end, singing All You Need Is Love. And then overhead, there's going to be 2 planes drawing giant hearts in the sky.
I love it so much. Bill, I think you're the gentleman who taught me that the Peace Day started in San Francisco. Is that right? Or the UN? Or things like
well,
this?
Well, no, people from San Francisco and also Robert Mueller were people that kind of introduced it originally. The first actual commemoration of it as a live event happened in San Francisco.
A bunch of years ago, and we keep moving forward. So all you need is love, right? Isn't that the what keeps the machine running?
Exactly.
Bill, you're doing great work. Let me ask you two last quick questions. Good news for you is what?
Good news for me. Every single breath I take.
Stated so succinctly. Last question. What does peace mean to you, Bill McCarthy, Unity Foundation?
Peace means to me that we're at one with ourselves, and if we're at one with ourselves, it's very easy to be accepting, loving, caring of everyone else on the planet. But I think it really needs to start with each individual. And when we find that place inside ourselves and we nurture that, we can't help but love everybody.
I love it, Bill. Thank you so much. Continued success, and I love our continued partnership. Thank you, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. I love our partnership, and thank you so much for agreeing to be part of this.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.